In a land blessed with beauty and abundance, there was a village known for its peacefulness and unity. The people lived contentedly, their lives simple and their hearts kind. But one day a visitor came to the village, a man named Akachi. He was a tall, mysterious figure, adorned in shimmering golden robes and jewels that sparkled in the sunlight. His presence stirred a wave of excitement among the villagers. Akachi called the villagers to the center of the village, holding up golden trinkets, precious stones, and silks that glimmered in the sun. "People of this village," he declared, his voice rich and persuasive, "I have traveled from far lands, blessed with riches beyond your imagination. I have come to share my fortune. Leave behind your dull lives of farming and labor. Follow me, and I will show you the secrets to becoming wealthy beyond your dreams." The villagers murmured among themselves, eyes fixed on the glittering treasures Akachi displayed. Among the crowd was a young man named Tunde, known for his integrity and humility. He had always been content with his simple life, working hard to provide for his family. But as he watched Akachi's display, he felt a stirring of desire he had never known before. "If only I could have just a portion of this wealth," Tunde thought to himself, "then I would be respected, and I could provide a better life for my family." The village elders watched with concern as many villagers, including Tunde, were captivated by Akachi's words. That night, Tunde returned home, restless and torn. He tried to sleep, but his thoughts kept returning to the promise of wealth. His mother noticed his troubled expression and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Tunde, my son, what burdens your heart?" she asked. "I have seen the wealth that Akachi possesses, mother. If I could just learn his secrets, I could bring us a life of comfort. We would no longer have to labor under the sun every day." His mother sighed, her eyes filled with wisdom. "Son, remember what the scriptures say? Do not toil to acquire wealth. Be discerning enough to desist. Seek God's wisdom, not earthly riches. For the heart that chases wealth may be led astray." Tunde nodded, but was unconvinced. He lay awake that night, torn between the desire for riches and the wisdom of his mother's words. The next morning, Tunde sought out Akachi in secret. He found him near the edge of the village, surrounded by villagers eager to listen to his promises. "Akachi," Tunde called out, "what must I do to gain this wealth?" Akachi smiled, his eyes gleaming with satisfaction. "Ah, young man, it is simple. Leave behind your old life and come with me to the mountains beyond the village. I will teach you the secrets of wealth, but you must trust me completely." Tunde glanced back toward his village, where he saw his mother and wife watching him with worried eyes. He hesitated, but the allure of Akachi's promises was too strong. "This is my chance," Tunde thought, convincing himself. "God must have sent Akachi to bless us." Tunde kissed his family goodbye and set off with Akachi toward the mountains. As they walked, Akachi regaled Tunde with tales of far-off lands, where wealth was abundant and life was filled with luxury. After hours of walking, they reached a steep, rugged path leading up to a dark cave. "Inside this cave," Akachi said, "lies the wealth you seek. But be warned, all that glitters is not gold. You must do exactly as I say to gain true riches." Tunde hesitated, glancing at the cave entrance, which seemed to swallow all light, but his desire for wealth pushed him forward. As they entered the cave, Akachi handed Tunde a candle. The dim light revealed heaps of golden coins, jewels, and fine silk draped across rocks. Tunde's eyes widened in awe. "I can't believe my eyes. Is this all mine?" Tunde whispered, his voice trembling with excitement. Akachi's smile grew wider. "It is yours, young man, but only if you follow my commands without question." Tunde began to fill his bags with coins and jewels, greedily gathering as much as he could carry. However, he noticed something strange. The coins were oddly light, almost hollow. Doubt crept into his mind, and he remembered his mother's words. "Seek God's wisdom, not earthly riches." "Is this truly gold?" Tunde muttered under his breath, growing uneasy. Akachi's demeanor shifted. His voice grew colder, more sinister. "What's the matter, Tunde? Do you doubt me?" Fear began to gnaw at Tunde's heart. He recalled the scripture his mother shared with him. "For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul?" Realizing he had been blinded by greed, Tunde dropped the bags, his hands trembling. Akachi, Tunde stammered. This isn't real wealth, is it? You have deceived me. Akachi's face twisted into a sneer. You sought wealth and abandoned God's path. Now you see the truth, but too late. Remember, it was your choice to follow me. Heart pounding, Tunde backed away from Akachi, who seemed to grow darker, his form blending into the shadows of the cave. Tunde turned and ran, stumbling over rocks as he made his way out of the cave. Outside, he was greeted by the blinding sunlight and the familiar scent of his village. He fell to his knees, gasping for breath, grateful to be free from the darkness of the cave. He looked back at the mountain, realizing the treasure had been nothing more than an illusion. Tunde returned to his village, empty-handed, but with a heart full of gratitude. He was greeted by his mother and wife, who embraced him, relieved to have him back. That evening, Tunde gathered the villagers to tell them of his journey and the lesson he had learned. I was deceived because I let greed enter my heart, Tunde confessed. I chased gold and ignored the wisdom God had given us. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues with injustice. The village chief nodded solemnly. Tunde, you have learned a valuable lesson. True wealth does not lie in riches, but in faith, love, and the grace of God. Tunde's eyes were filled with tears as he looked at the faces of his family and friends. All that glitters is not gold. I nearly lost everything for a lie. The villagers nodded, understanding the wisdom in his words. That night, Tunde lay awake, reflecting on the peace and contentment he had found in his simple life. He remembered the scripture that had guided him back to the light. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. From that day on, Tunde lived with a renewed sense of purpose, finding joy in his faith, his family, and the work of his hands. He shared his story with others, warning them of the dangers of greed and reminding them that true treasure lies not in gold, but in the love and wisdom of God.